Have you ever noticed how one message can feel like a promise? How a good morning text can sound like forever? How a smile from someone new can make your whole chest light up, like your life just found its missing piece? And then, suddenly, you are attached. Not just interested, not curious, attached. You are replaying their tone. You are reading their pauses. You are checking your phone like it is a heartbeat monitor. And if they take longer to reply, your mind starts building stories that hurt. If that feels familiar, you are not crazy. You are human. And there is psychology behind why some people get attached too quickly. So let us decode it. Not to shame it, not to call it needy, but to understand it and finally get some control back. 1. Your brain confuses intensity with intimacy. When you meet someone who feels exciting, your nervous system does not speak in calm sentences. It speaks in chemicals. Dopamine rises when something is new, uncertain, and rewarding. That is the same system that fuels craving. So if a person is inconsistent, unpredictable, or just slightly out of reach, your brain can chase them harder. Not because they are perfect, because the reward feels rare. This is why a 2-hour conversation can feel like a deep bond. Your body is flooded with energy. Your thoughts feel sharp. You feel seen. And your brain says, "This is special." But intensity is not proof. It is not a resume. It is not commitment. Real intimacy is built in small, repeated moments. It is built when someone shows up again and again, even when life is boring. It is built when you can disagree and still feel safe. If you attach quickly, you may be falling in love with the rush, not the reality. Your mind is zooming in. Your heart is sprinting. And you are calling it connection. 2. You learn that love feels like urgency. A lot of quick attachment is not about the new person. It is about an old pattern. If you grew up with love that was inconsistent, conditional, or tied to moods, your system learned to stay alert. You learned to watch faces. You learned to keep closeness, because closeness could disappear. That is attachment theory in real life. When care is unpredictable, the anxious part of the brain becomes a planner. It tries to prevent loss by bonding faster. It tries to lock things in before they can slip away, so you overinvest. You give too much too soon. You try to be impressive. You try to be easy. You try to be the person who cannot be abandoned, and it makes sense. If your past taught you that love is fragile, your present will treat every new connection like it must be secured. Here is the quiet twist. Quick attachment can be a form of self-protection. If I attach first, I can at least feel in control. If I think about them non-stop, I can reduce surprise. If I hold tight, maybe I will not get hurt. But holding tight does not prevent pain. It often invites it. 3. You are attaching to what they represent, not who they are. This is a big one. Sometimes you do not fall for the person. You fall for the relief. The relief of not being alone. The relief of being chosen. The relief of thinking, "Finally, my life is changing." When you are tired of being strong, attention feels like oxygen. When you have been lonely, warmth feels like rescue. When you have been invisible, being noticed feels like destiny. Psychology calls this projection. Your mind fills in blanks with hope. You see a few good traits, then you build a whole future on top of them. You do not even realize you are doing it, because the story feels so soothing. You start imagining holidays. You start imagining introductions. You start imagining the version of you that is finally relaxed, because someone is there. And when the person does something normal, like being busy, or not matching your pace, it feels like the whole dream is being taken away. That is why the pain is so big. You are not losing a date. You are losing the promise you assigned to them. So slow down and ask, what do I actually know about this person? Not what do I hope, not what do I feel, what do I know? 4. Your self-worth is outsourcing itself. Some people attach quickly because they have not learned how to stay emotionally full on their own. Their inner world has gaps. Not because they are broken, but because nobody taught them how to meet their own needs with consistency. So the moment someone shows interest, your nervous system says, "This is my chance to feel okay." That turns connection into a mirror. If they like you, you feel valuable. If they pull back, you feel worthless. That is why quick attachment can feel like a roller coaster. Your self-worth is moving with someone else's attention. Social comparison theory also plays a role here. You see couples online. You see people being posted. You see engagement photos. And your brain quietly concludes, if I do not lock something in, I am falling behind. So you rush. You force meaning. You treat early sparks like deadlines. But your value is not a vote. It is not a result. It is not something someone grants you through replies. The fastest way to detach is to build a life that still feels stable when nobody texts back. 5. Your body is mistaking anxiety for chemistry. Let us talk about the physical side. Many people who attach quickly are not just emotional. They are dysregulated. Their nervous system lives in fight, flight, or freeze. So calm feels unfamiliar. Calm can even feel boring. Then they meet someone who triggers uncertainty, and suddenly their body is activated. Heart faster, thoughts louder, appetite weird, sleep lighter. And because the body is loud, the mind creates a story to explain it. It says, I must really like them. But sometimes that feeling is not love. It is attachment anxiety. It is a nervous system that learned to equate closeness with danger and excitement with survival. Emotional intelligence starts with noticing this. Ask yourself, do I feel safe or do I feel on edge? Do I feel grounded or do I feel like I am chasing? If you feel like you are chasing, the answer is not to chase harder. The answer is to regulate. Breathe, eat, sleep, move your body, talk to someone grounded. Do anything that brings you back to you, and notice the speed of your inner movie. One date, and your mind starts editing a whole season. You hear them say, we should do this again, and you translate it into, we are building something. You catch yourself changing little parts of you to fit what you think they want. You text faster than you normally would. You cancel plans you were excited for. You start performing, even when you swear you are being yourself. That is the scarcity mindset at work. When connection felt rare in the past, the brain treats it like a limited resource. It says, take it now, hold it now, do not risk losing it. But scarcity makes you overvalue early signals. It makes you ignore red flags because your body is focused on relief. A simple tool is the 24-hour rule. When you feel the urge to confess, define the relationship, or demand reassurance, pause for one day. Not to punish anyone. To give your nervous system time to settle. In that space, you can ask, is this my anxiety talking, or my values? Is this person earning my trust, or am I rushing because I am afraid? Keep a tiny list. Facts versus feelings. Facts are what they did. Feelings are what you imagined. Read it when spiraling too fast. Now, here is the turning point. Getting attached quickly does not mean you are too much. It usually means you are undersupported. It means you have a big heart, and your brain learned shortcuts to keep that heart from being hurt. So what do? In real life, today. First, name the pattern out loud. I am attaching fast. That simple sentence creates distance. Second, slow the story. Do not plan a future with data you do not have yet. Let time do its job. Third, match energy, not fantasy. If they give one step, give one step. If they pause, you pause. Not as a game, as self-respect. Fourth, stay connected to your own life. Keep your routines. Keep your friends. Keep your goals. Your world should not shrink to the size of one person. And finally, choose people who are consistent. Chemistry is loud. Consistency is quiet. But consistency is what heals. If this hit a nerve, it is because you are not alone. A lot of people are walking around with hearts that bond fast and brains that panic faster. but you can learn a new pace. You can learn to build love slowly, safely, and with both eyes open. So here is your takeaway. Attachment is not the enemy. Unconscious attachment is. The goal is not to feel less. The goal is to feel wisely. If you want more videos that decode human behavior like this, you already know what to do. Subscribe and stay close. Not attached, just connected.